The blistering sun had long since set on the desert wasteland, casting a dark and foreboding shadow over the endless dunes. Kael, a rebellious teenager with a penchant for trouble, stood at the edge of a dusty canyon, her eyes fixed on the figure before her. Arin, a fellow outcast and Kael's closest friend, was about to make a decision that would change the course of their lives forever. With a deep breath, Arin handed Kael a small, intricately carved stone, its surface etched with ancient runes that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. "This is it," Arin whispered, her voice barely audible over the howling wind. "This is the proof we need to bring down the tyrannical Council of Elders. They've been hiding the truth about the wasteland's true nature for far too long. With this stone, we can expose them and free our people from their grasp." Kael's eyes widened as she took the stone, feeling its strange power coursing through her veins. She knew the risks, but the thrill of rebellion was too great to resist. Together, they made the decision to sneak into the Council's heavily guarded fortress and steal the ancient artifacts needed to unlock the stone's secrets. The night was a blur of stealth and adrenaline as they navigated the treacherous tunnels beneath the fortress. Kael's heart pounded in her chest as they finally reached the artifact chamber, the air thick with the weight of forbidden knowledge. But their triumph was short-lived, as the sound of guards echoed through the corridors, their torches casting flickering shadows on the walls. Arin grabbed Kael's arm, and they sprinted through the winding tunnels, the stone clutched tightly in Kael's fist. Their desperate struggle to escape the fortress was a chaotic blur of shouting guards and pounding footsteps. Kael's breath came in ragged gasps as they burst through the entrance, the cool night air a welcome respite from the stifling tunnels. But their freedom was short-lived, as a figure emerged from the shadows, a cruel smile spreading across his face. Liran, a ruthless enforcer of the council, sneered at Kael and Arin, his eyes fixed on the stone. "You fools," he spat. "You think you can challenge the council's authority? I'll make sure you pay for your betrayal." Kael's grip on the stone tightened as Liran's men closed in, their swords glinting in the moonlight. Arin stood frozen, her eyes wide with fear, as Kael prepared to face their attackers alone. But in that moment, something inside Kael shifted. She saw the desperation in Arin's eyes, the fear of being caught and punished, and she realized that their rebellion had been driven by a desire for revenge, not justice. The stone, once a symbol of their defiance, now felt like a burden, a reminder of the cycle of violence they were perpetuating. As Liran's men closed in, Kael made a split-second decision. With a swift motion, she tossed the stone into the darkness, watching as it disappeared into the night. The men hesitated, momentarily stunned, and Kael seized the opportunity to grab Arin's arm and flee into the desert. They ran, the sound of their pursuers fading into the distance, until they finally collapsed onto the sand, gasping for breath. As they caught their breath, Kael turned to Arin, her eyes searching for understanding. "We were wrong," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "We were so blinded by our desire for revenge that we forgot what we were fighting for. We need to find a new way. A way that doesn't involve hurting others." Arin nodded, a look of determination etched on her face. Together, they gazed out into the desert, the stars twinkling like diamonds in the vast expanse of night. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to take a different path, one that would lead them toward a brighter, more hopeful future.